Hey guys, Mike here. So today, I'm here to talk to you about Solo, a Star Wars story. In this review, I'll be going over a brief summary of the plot, my quick thoughts about the film, and whether or not you should go and see it. So I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler-free. However, if you don't want to know anything about the film, and you want to go in completely blind, then let's just come back to this video once you've seen the film. So with that, let's get started, shall we?
So glad we took this job!
So in Solo, a Star Wars story, we follow the events of a young Han Solo who is played by Alden Ehrenreich, who you may recognise from Beautiful Creatures and Hail Caesar. Now, Alden Ehrenreich brings us a very good character. He's courageous, he's conflicted, and you never know really what he's going to do next. But as for being a young Han Solo, he never really had that spark for me. I never really saw him as playing a young Han Solo. Though he was very entertaining to watch, he just didn't have that quality for me. In the film, we follow Han Solo from his beginnings as a street urchin to the smuggler that we know in the very first Star Wars movie. Along for the ride in this film is Emilia Clarke, who plays his first love interest, Kiara. Now, I'm happy to see that Emilia Clarke is getting work outside of Game of Thrones, and upon first glance, you would think that her character would end up being a damsel in distress kind of character, but she shows throughout the film that she's just as capable as anyone else in the movie. Now, with Woody Harrelson's character, he pretty much plays the same kind of character that he does in any other kind of action movie that he's in. You know, just kind of southern talking kind of character who has a gun and does some fancy stuff. So there's not really much to talk about there, so if you like Woody Harrelson's characters in action movies, then you'll like him here.
I beat wholesale ass for a lot less than that.
Also in this film, we have a young Lando Calrissian, who is played by Donald Glover, and Donald Glover easily plays his character most like the original one than anyone else does in the movie. Now, the best description of this film, I think, is to call it a space western, because a lot of the things that you see happen in this movie would happen in most western films, except the fact that it's in the Star Wars universe and in space. Now, for the most part, this is a good film. It starts off really well showing us all the characters in the film and their motivations. About halfway through, the movie kind of takes a dip because not a lot happens and it just kind of gets a bit stale and boring. Now, in the third act, the movie does pick itself back up and deliver a satisfying ending. Though as a whole, I do think the thing that holds this movie up to the standard that it is the fact that it's a Star Wars movie. If it didn't have Star Wars attached to it, I don't think people would find this as good as it was. Overall, guys, it's a pretty good movie filled with great characters that will keep you guessing throughout the whole movie, especially in the third act, because you don't know what anyone's going to do next. You think they're going to do one thing, then in the next 5 minutes they completely flipped the script and changed whatever you think they were going to do. The visual effects are good, the cinematography is good as well. As for going to see this film in the cinema, I did see it in IMAX 3D, and while it was good to see in the cinema, I don't think it's worth seeing in IMAX 3D, because the 3D doesn't really make anything stand out or look any better than it would have been in standard 2D. So to be honest, there were other films this year that were worth seeing in IMAX 3D, and this film was not one of them. Okay guys, that's my quick review of Solo, a Star Wars story. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? And what's your favourite Star Wars movie? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below, and until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!